it's me, Miss Voss. Today I'm going to teach you how to draw a mandala. And a mandala is a radial symmetrical design. Radial symmetry is a type of balance where from the center, everything is symmetrical as the design rotates. And radial symmetry is in nature and in art.
Dancing, retreating and advancing across the sky into the end of time. Oh, put all those cares inside your head. You can live your life on your deathbed.
Now we're going to learn how to draw a radial symmetrical mandala first, and then later we'll add color using pastel, chalk pastel, and a special technique that only works on this paper we're using called bogus paper. You might notice mine's a little shiny and glossy too. I'll show you how to do that at the end. So first we're going to learn how to draw it. And we are going to get our piece of paper. This is a special paper called bogus paper, and it is a square. And we want to find the center, so we're going to do it by folding. Now this paper is cut to 12 by 12 inches, so the middle should be 6 inches if we measure. Now I folded it one way and I opened it up and I can see the center this way. Now I want to find the center this way, so we're going to fold our paper the other direction. Lining it up. I put my fingers, you can see at the top, so when this side meets, I can tell it's lined up correctly. And crease your fold with your finger. Now when I open it up, I should have a plus sign. And I'm going to take my pencil and my ruler, and I'm just going to line my ruler up on that line and trace right across it. Notice when I hold my ruler, I spread my fingers out so it won't move. One way. Now I put my ruler on that center line, push down and trace. Okay, now we know where the center is and we've divided it into fourths, 4 equal fourths. We want to divide it a couple more times so it's in eighths, like a pizza. So I'm actually going to take the bottom corner and the bottom right corner and bring it up to the bottom left corner. So I'm folding the paper diagonally. I'm making sure this corner lines up. Hold that corner with your couple of fingers, push down, and crease. And now I need to do it one more time the opposite direction. So I'm bringing this corner to this corner, holding it so it lines up, push down, and crease the fold. And when we open it up, and now we're going to do some measuring. And this is really important because I find a lot of people don't know how to use a ruler well, so this will be good practice for us. So when you look at a ruler, there's the centimeter side, which goes from 0 to 30. The inches side, which goes from 0 to 12. We're using the inches side, 0 to 12. Also, I want you to notice that rulers, some rulers start right on the edge, but some rulers, see this line? That's 0, not this part, that is 0. So when we measure our paper, it's 12 inches, 12 divided into 6, that's the middle. We want to make, on our mandala, 3 circles, 1, 2, and 3. And we want them to be even, and we're going to do it by measuring. So I'm putting the 6, because that's the middle, right on the line, and I'm lining it up on my first line, and I'm going to measure. I'm going to put a little line at 0, at 2, and at 4. Can you see it? Now I'm going to do it again on this diagonal line. I'm making sure not that it's lined up with the corner, that the 6 is on the center point, and I'm going to do the same measurements, 0, 2, 4, and then the middle 6. Now I'm going to connect them. So I'm connecting the 0 to the 0, 4 to the 4, or sorry, 0 to the 0, 2 and 4. And I'm doing a curved line, and this is going to create an even set of circles as we go around. So now I like to turn my paper. I'm doing it again. Put the 6 right on that center, the very center. I'll put a little dot there. 6. So I put a mark at 4, 2, and 0. And 0 should be right on the edge of the paper in this case. And again, curve it. And repeat. Line up the 6 in the middle and put a little mark at 0, 2, and 4. So at 0, 2, 4, the middle 6. And I'm going to connect again. And I'm going to keep doing this. Again, lining it up. 0, 2, 4, middle 6. And again, put the 6 on the center. 0, 2, 4, and 6. And you can see these circles are evenly spaced because we've measured out at the same point on the line. So I have to do it 1, 2, 3 more times. Okay, ta-da! I have completed measuring. You can see I have 3 circles that are symmetrical and evenly spaced from the center. Now this is the start of my mandala. So once you've measured out your 3 circles, now we get to do the fun part, drawing symmetrical designs, radial symmetrical designs around. And really, we're just using shapes and lines. The more shapes you can think of, the better. You could use petal shapes, like on a flower. You could use wavy lines, diamond-like shapes, rectangles, circles, anything that's a shape. As long as it's closed, it's a shape, diamonds, different types of lines, and you'll get a really beautiful, detailed design. You can use this one. You can see I started with triangles in the center. It's up to you. So for me, let's see, I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to begin in the center, and you can kind of see these, the pizza line still are 8s. So it's like I have a little pizza here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whatever you do in one pizza has to be the same in each pizza slice all the way around. I'm going to start by making another little circle. I like to sometimes when I do a mandala make it look like there's a flower in the middle. Now I'm going to draw petals and I want them to be the same all the way around. So I'm going to make it go to the center of each line. I'm aiming to make them about the same length. We're humans, we're not computers, so it's not going to be exact, but we're trying our best.
Just words that ain't worth nothing. Cloud your head and push your buttons and watch how they just disappear when we're far away from here. And everybody knows where this is heading. Forget
All right, folks, now it's time to design my third circle. I did the first, second, now the third. And again, pick a shape to start with. I'm going to pick a circle. I'm going to do a big circle. You know what? I'll do a medium and then a small. And now I'm going to repeat that in each section, all 8 sections.
Everybody knows where this is heading. Forgive me for forgetting. Our hearts irrevocably combined. Stuck or so slow dancing, retreating and advancing across the sky until the end of time. Like sister.
All right, everyone, that was how you draw a mandala. Now for our lesson, we're doing this on bogus paper. It's a special paper. And we're actually going to now trace all our lines with black acrylic paint. Now acrylic paint is different than the normal paint we use in art class. Acrylic paint is permanent. Acrylic dries into plastic, so if this gets on your clothes or furniture, it is not coming off. So you do need to be careful. You're welcome to wear an apron if you'd like to. I usually don't wind up with any on me though, because we're just using one color and it's pretty simple. So I'm going to use a small brush for this, and I'm going to trace every line. If some spots are really small, take your time, and if you need to change your design a little so that you can truly trace them with black paint, that's fine. Dry your brush off. We don't really want any water. We just want mainly paint. You do need to make sure though, if you have paint on your brush, you don't lie it down. If you need to put it down for a second, you put it in the water cup. Especially with acrylic paint, if this stays on the brush too long, it will ruin the brush. So we got to keep it in water if you're not using it. All right, folks, once our black paint is totally dry, we are going to start adding color. And this technique we're going to do only works with the supplies we're using. We are using bogus paper. What a funny word, bogus paper. We will need a water cup and probably like a medium-sized paintbrush. And we are using chalk pastel. Now, chalk pastel is usually very dusty and a little bit messy. Just like sidewalk chalk you'd use. But with this technique, it's going to look more like paint. And what you do, you pick the section you want to color. I'm going to start with this section around each diamond because it's kind of a bigger area. And think of colors that blend well together. So I'm going to use, like I did here, dark blue with a tint of blue, a lighter blue, because obviously they'll go together well. And I'll blend them together. So how you do it, take your brush, make sure it's wet, and wet just the area of the paper that you're going to color. And even though I'm going to color outside this diamond, if I get in it too, it's totally fine. So I'll just wet this whole section. You can see it's wet because it's darker. And Now I'll take my blue chalk pastel and I'm going to kind of try and go blue, light blue, dark blue. And when I color on top, it becomes like a paint. Now I might have actually put a little too much water on here, so I'm going to let that side dry a little. You don't want like a puddle of water, you just want it wet. So actually, let me try again in another section. So I'm going to wet it. This time making sure I spread the water out so I don't have a pool of water. It's all spread out. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to color in and it will go on really smooth and thick. Now I'm going to use the lighter blue. And how I'm blending them, oh my gosh, look how well they blend. It's beautiful. Is by overlapping. So I'm going to bring the lighter blue on top of that darker blue. And I'm going to bring the lighter blue almost all the way to the edge of the shape. And then I'm just going to take a touch of the darker blue back on top. And I just added a little water there because I felt like it wasn't going on easily. All right, yeah, that looks great. So I'm gonna keep doing this all the way around.
There just was